Kind of trying to get out of my windows.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 50th episode of Wake Up with YPN. I'm very excited to be here this morning with Joni Eubank, who is, hang on just a second. Evan, are you there? Can you stop this? It's not showing anything for me.
Good morning, you sitting here in the dark.
Facebook Live.
Okay, well, it's looking like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Hopefully Kayla will be back soon. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. 50th episode, it's only right that it starts off with a bang, right? That we have a little bit of a technical glitch. Looks like Kayla's back. I'll get her right back in. Thanks everybody.
Hey everyone, so sorry about that. I had a problem with my connection, but I'm back. Anyways, thank you to this morning's episode, Residential Mortgage Network, for sponsoring the 50th episode of Wake Up with YPN. I'm Kayla Fisher, your co-chair for the 2023 year with Iowa City Area Association of Realtors, YPN. And this morning, we're very glad to have Joni Eubank, who is our ICAAR Education Committee chair, and she is going to be talking with us about the NAR's President Challenge and what that involves. Good morning, Joni.
Good morning.
So sorry about that moment of difficulty there. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the business, and how you got involved with the Education Committee?
I have been licensed. I'm in my 20th year. Hard to imagine. Hard to imagine. 20th year. And honestly, in 2013, when ICAAR's education went back over to the state, and that's a long story, and talked to an seasoned agent, and maybe they can tell you all about the ups and downs that was. But in 2013, the incoming president, and gosh, I want to say it was Shaner, but I might be wrong about that. Anyway, called me and said, we're going to do this, and we would like to know if you'd be interested in being committee chair for the first one. And I said, I would. That sounds great. So that's what started the whole thing. And 10 years later, we're still here.
Oh my goodness, 10 years as a committee chair and 20 years in the business. That is an amazing bit of expertise that you can bring to that committee and to our members to help give them educational benefits. Speaking of that, can you tell us a little bit about how, I know the committee's probably evolved over the years, but what do they do for our members now, for some who may be unfamiliar?
Well, you get plenty of email information from Evan, from ICAAR, and that really has everything. I mean, the week at a glance gives you an idea of what's coming up for that particular week. But we literally we have a committee of, I don't know, maybe a dozen members, a couple lenders sit in with us, and we just try to figure out what we want to know, because chances are that's what you want to know. And we also send out, I think ICAAR does a great job at the end of the year about sending out a survey. What do you guys want to see? What are you looking for? What do you have a gap in your knowledge, or would you like to get more expertise? And so we really try to fill in those gaps with what you guys want, what we think is important, what we see NAR introducing coming down the pike. And then we decide, is it a all-day event? Is it a lunch and learn event? And how can we get it in? So we want the best bang for our buck. We want to offer you the membership as much as we can give you, and we'd like to be able to do it on a budget that the board is happy with.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I know even recently you've provided some awesome educational opportunities, and I know the calendar is looking full later in the year. You mentioned taking some ideas from NAR, and I know that today we wanted to talk about the NAR's President's Challenge for Education. Can you touch on that a little bit for us?
I can. And, Megan is the person in the know with this whole thing, but anybody that 3 years ago when NAR introduced the C2EX, if anybody else was like me, I thought, I'll just, pull this up and take a look, and I'll just knock it right out right now. And like an hour later, I realized it took time. And then another hour later, and I was thinking, what have I gotten myself into? However, it really was kind of a good building program that NAR put together. So for anybody that did what I did 3 years ago and took it, surprise, now you get to go in and you get to recertify yourself and go through it again. And the second time through is quicker than the first.
Yeah. So back in 2019, they introduced the C2EX, and now it's kind of that renewal period. So a lot of the people who took advantage of that opportunity back in 2019 are up for renewal. And I think that the president of NAR is combining the C2EX with some other components called the NAR President's Challenge.
Yes. And I am trying to find, I have some little cheat sheet notes, but you know what? Can't find those. But they are combining it with some fair housing.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a module within NAR that has to do with fair housing as well. So all of those things combined. Again, I'm going to ask Megan or Evan to send you guys out a special email talking about the President's Challenge, although I think one's already gone out.
That's okay. Yeah, if anyone wants more details, they can comment below and we'll send it. Briefly, though, I do have it in front of me here.
Perfect.
C2, it's okay. So there's the Committed to Excellence, which is the C2EX online program. There's an opportunity called At Home with Diversity, Bias Override, and the Fair Haven Challenge. Then that strengthens the understanding and commitment that we have to fair housing.
Perfect.
And so C2EX is a free program, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely free.
And why would you say that it's important for realtors?
Well, I think that if I'm not mistaken, our president this year, Paul Park, had said he wanted to kind of focus on upping our professionalism, making us look like the professionals that we know that we are. And I think that with this challenge and with C2EX, I think that what that's doing is it's just giving you that added value. It's kind of upping your game a little bit. Maybe it's reminding you of some things that you forgot that you should be doing or should be aware of. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it fits perfectly into President Paul's goal.
Yeah, I would agree. And in the month of March, ICAAR has a challenge for us where all of our realtors are challenged to complete the C2EX program. And if they finish it by the end of March, they're put in a drawing to win a quarter of free ICAAR dues. And I can't think of one ICAAR member who wouldn't love that. So a great incentive to sit down, Joni. And as you said, it is a little bit of a lengthier program. It can be, but it kind of takes you through step by step and builds on itself as you go through to really open up our eyes to some fair housing challenges that we may encounter day to day and not even realizing that we're navigating through those. It was really...
Kayla, you don't have to finish it at one time either. You can stop and go. So
yes, that's a great point to make. You can work on it as you want to, but if you finish it by the end of March, you get into a drawing for free ICAAR dues. Can you tell us a little bit about the At Home with Diversity designation course?
So we had, I've never taken the designation course, but we've had Marky Lemons kind of at the onset of COVID. She did a webinar, an online class for us that actually satisfied our ethics. And within that, why she talked a lot about diversity. And I think that at the state level, we're having a lot of conversations with including that in our mandatories. So, the diversity portion of it it's not ever going to go away. We need to be more aware, and we've had some excellent things. As a matter of fact, in the library on ICAAR's website, why you'll find the Long Island Divide, you'll find some different things that have to do with the diversity concept and what we need to be aware of.
Yeah, for sure. And I see on the ICAAR website that they're offering the At Home with Diversity course on April 3rd from 9 to 4. And so if someone's interested in taking that and developing a more professional understanding of fair housing laws, business etiquette, and basic competencies, that would be a great option for them. And then Fairhaven, that simulation. Can you tell us a little bit about that? We have 4 big components to touch on today, so lots of great information.
So with the Fairhaven, it's kind of a neat concept that they did. You go in and you answer the question, and depending upon how you answered the question, it takes you to your next module. And, if you did really well, then you may only have a couple more things to answer. If you maybe had some, struggle with your initial module, then maybe it's going to take you through a little more of a process. So it's kind of neat in the way that it builds, it's kind of a building block. But again, definitely worth it. Doesn't take quite as long to get through a C2EX, but still, give yourself an hour to sit down.
Yeah, for sure. And that Fairhaven paired with bias override will be great things to work through. And it sounds like in the spring, there's going to be other incentives to get our members to get involved and get that done, which is great.
Yeah.
Can you share any other educational opportunities coming down the ICAAR pipeline?
So I'm going to backtrack for 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
We had Sean Carpenter come in and kind of do a kickoff for us. We had about 50 people that braved, or maybe a little less than that braved a crazy snowstorm that we got to watch fall over Kinnick. And I think that everybody that walked out satisfied. We had amazing food from the hotel, and we had an action-packed day. So we had that. And then we just had last week the green designation that NAR puts out, and the city of Iowa City provided that to us. And believe it or not, they did it for free. And so, or they offered it to us for free. We had a good size room, 40 people in there. It was truly, I think every single person that walked out after those 2 days were totally happy. So we've had 2 really pretty awesome things here in the first couple months of the year. We also have free law and ethics that are coming up here within the month of March. Keep in mind that we offer a free set and then a set that you're going to pay for. And the free set is this spring. So they may already be full. I don't know that, but please, if you want your law and ethics taken care of this year, this would be the time to do it. And then we've got, I just even have to look because we've got some things kind of more, March is full. At home with diversity is in April. And then we have a June class that Adam Pretorius is going to be teaching for us. And kind of what we're going to be doing in our March meeting is then planning the second half of our year. So if there's anything you guys want to see, please give us those ideas.
Yeah, I love that. You guys really have had some great educational opportunities already this year, and I'm excited for all that's to come. And the free law and ethics is a great thing to get people registered for early, because I know that class does normally fill up. You guys do a great job, and we are just about ready to wrap up here. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and if we don't get to them, we will be sure to answer them after we are live. And I know Joni will probably say this, to reach out to her as the Education Committee Chair, or of course, our great staff at ICAAR, Megan, Nancy, and Evan will be happy to answer those questions for you.
Sure.
Any other things that you'd like to add as far as education, Joni?
I would just say, if anybody has any curiosity in getting on board in a committee, I think I got onto committees when I first got in the business, and it was the best way to meet all the other agents, because you're hopefully going to do a deal with them, and to know them, but know them other than just a name on a text is huge. And, if you have any interest in, keeping our profession at a professional level and bringing in quality education, we would love to have you. We meet on the third Wednesday. I don't know. It's on my calendar, but we meet on a Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. over at ICAAR, and we've got a great group of people right now, and I think we're headed in a really good direction. Really strong. There are strong people at the table. Let's say that.
Yes, I love that. I think I couldn't echo your comments more. No matter what the committee is that you're interested in joining, they really enhance your own business. And when you do know that person on the other side of the deal, and just knowing people in our association on a more personal level helps us to get those deals done when we're trying to advocate for our clients. And yes, definitely. If anyone would like to join the education committee, reach out to Joni, or any other committees, reach out to Megan, Nancy, or Evan, and they'll get you placed on a committee that you find value in and that you could provide your own insight to. Hey, Joni, thank you so much for joining us on this March morning. And just one last shout out for C2EX and a mission to our agents to try and complete that C2EX module by the end of March. Join over 100,000 realtors nationwide who have done that to enhance our industry and showcase the aspects of professionalism by the end of March, and you will be entered into a drawing to win free ICAAR dues. And you can learn more information at c2ex.realtor.com. Have a great morning. Thank you so much, Joni. Have a great week.
Thanks everyone.